So, this episode really has it all. All for One being a manipulative piece of shit. We have Hawks being a badass. We have two UA students that aren't the main core, being like Bakugo, Izuku Midoriya, Shoto, like the big three, Ida, Ochako, you know them. Like, we have some of the other students showing off their parts, as well as an interesting thing from Shoto defeating Dabi. Because keep this in mind, everything is important. Every single battle that takes place is important in this entire war, because whoever takes the first victory out of all these different fights has the morale boost victory. Because when everyone received the news that Shoto beat Dabi, how did the heroes respond? Everyone were very surprised but happy for him, as well as some bit of sorrow because he had to defeat his own brother. But because of that, because he was able to beat Dabi, the jackass who has blue flames, he basically gave all of his fellow classmates, as well as the heroes, a boost in morale. All the while, the villains are all in disbelief, especially Spinner, because Spinner has known Dabi, considering that we get to see that Dabi refused to get another quirk added to him. So he is in shock and disbelief because he knows Dabi to be this very, very persistent villain, or I guess person in their eyes, and he cannot see a scenario where Dabi would just let himself be beaten, and that causes him to just be outraged. But that's one villain. Imagine all the others, how they feel that one side has apparently lost. And yes, I will acknowledge there's a little spark that shows in Dabi's chest. I clearly do not fucking like that, because it obviously means this jackass is not done for the count yet. And yes, this asshole, like, look, Dabi lost. That is a guaranteed he did lost. It just so happens that there will be a round two, because this guy does not know when to quit. And that is commendable, but also very fucking annoying. Anyway, aside from that, it is interesting also seeing Bakugo kind of say, like, yeah, I knew you could do it, Shoto. Showing that he has a soft side.
And then there is Mount Lady, which shows her absolute support for Shoto. She does show she was worried for him at first, but then obviously this victory has shown that Shoto has improved. So yeah, moving on from that, I want to move to the All for One fight, because my gosh, is he such a bitch. And I say this because he's definitely manipulative. He knows that Shoto's victory does make both Endeavor proud, but also it hurts him since his sons are fighting. And he uses that for his advantage as he starts to mock him and bait him into attacking, which Hawks is there as the voice of reason. And I like these two fighting together. They definitely make a good duo. So we have these two fighting. Obviously, Endeavor gets caught in one of the attacks. Hawks is still recovering. With that in mind, we have Jiro and Tokoyami working together, coming into the scene. And yeah, they have some little funny banter because Tokoyami usually doesn't have a girl sitting on top of him, so he would feel uncomfortable. And Jiro obviously calling him an idiot. But these two come in clutch right as Hawks is about to get literally hit with one of All for One's deadly attacks. And they basically show that, yes, they are support heroes. However, they're still willing to make as much change as they possibly can. And yeah, they're able to somewhat hold their own, but then obviously All for One just completely wipes everyone out, with poor Jiro losing one of her ears. And yeah, that's how the episode ends, in more or less a villain victory. If last episode was a hero victory ending for the episode, this one's the villain victory in the swords, because All for One kind of neutralizes Hawks, Jiro, and Tokoyami, at least for now. Endeavor is obviously injured because All for One pissed him off with the ultimate truth, that he was the one that recovered Toya's body, which essentially means that had it not been for All for One, Endeavor would have possibly been able to find Toya and have done everything he could to save him. Like, literally everything stems for that moment that set him into the path he ended up in. And yeah, that kind of blinded him with rage, which obviously gave All for One the chance to land an attack. So yeah, pretty damn good episode. Though I find it funny that it's literally called Extras, so I find it funny. But overall, I loved it. Loved everything about it.